So what we're actually trying to do, we are actually trying to calculate the past customers. Past customers meaning like uh, uh, if you go back to this table, right? For example, today's date is February 3rd. So I have joined on February 3rd and you have joined on February 1st. On this date 3, the customer from the first date would be my past customer. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you could ask me, uh, so we are speaking on this monthly level, right? So, in that particular month, okay, in that particular month and year, what is the current date? For example, like the people who are actually what are all the entries that are less than that date would be my previous dates. Do you agree?
No, can you repeat, please?
I mean, like past date for current date, what are all will be the past dates? For today, February 3rd is there February 3rd, right? For February 3rd, February 2nd, and February 1st would be my past dates. Do you agree?
That, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So again, I'm speaking the context here, row context here. If you could see here, for each and every row, what are the past records? We are actually fetching. We need to fetch that. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Once you fetch that record and you need to append to the customer level for that once you do that then you need to append that context to the customer context. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we are trying to do. Okay, so calculate table. In the table what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do bring up the customers. So whatever we're supposed to do, we are trying to build up the past customers. So bring it up the past customer table. Okay, values. So remember, it's always best practice to use the values rather than the column directly. Values generally will only fetch the column, not the complete table. So in that table only it fetches at the customer table. So calculate table. What is the expression of this? Calculate. It expects a table and it expects a filter. Now, what am I? What are this? What is this actually expecting? So it's basically expecting this table. I mean table. Table all is values is also a table function. Okay, so this is a table here, comma, what is the filter expression? I need to write the filter expression. So customers, what customers? As on this today's date, what are the past entries for me? That I wanted to write. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So, for example, today customer, what is the past entries? So that customers one I need to fetch it up. So customers with respect to which filter? Past filter. So that would be my past customer. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do, again, I'll write a all function here. What this all will do, it will fetch all the records. So it will fetch all the what records it will fetch. It will whatever the columns you define here, that records it will fetch it up. So far we are bringing up the customers with respect to what? With respect to filter only we are bringing up, right? So whenever I saying a new customer or an old customer, flag is equal to new, that's a new customer. When flag is equal to old, that's an old customer for me. So if you simulate that here, I'm simply I'm simply bringing up the customers, which with respect to what? With respect to what? With respect to month, right? So I need to specify that here, right? Sales table. So the date has this month number. I'm just it's more or like specifying select clause, right? All sell date and what's the next thing? I also specify the month number. Let us say I also want the month number as well. Um, so what's this month number, right? So I put because like we are doing that analysis at the monthly level. So I'm just speaking of the month and month number, okay? And and that month can be repetitive in years, right? It's not like February 1st can also be in scheduled across month. So to define the uniqueness of that row, I also need to mention the year as well, right? In that year, what is the so I'm just waiting. As soon as I select the date, it will also fetch this year as well. So this year is also came into place. Now I have defined my select clause way. I mean all right. So if you could see here, so is there any other thing that we need to do? Now she simply selected. what we call in the select clause only columns that we have got selected. So let me close this. Okay, as soon as I close this, what's going to happen? I need to filter up the table, right? What is it filter? I need to write up filter two. So I'm actually bringing up all the customers as per the this combination of records, and now I'm going to keep the filter as well. What is the filter I'm going to keep? Sales table. So what is sales? I mean, like sales table. I'm bringing sales table date itself. Okay, I'm going to keep the filter on the date, sales table date. So the date should be less than the current date, meaning like what is the current record below that records only I want it.
Yeah.
Below that records and that record should have this combination of month and the customers. So on that date, if that customer is present below, meaning like on February 3rd, if a customer is present on February 2nd, for February 3rd, that's a past customer. I'm speaking at the dates level. At the same point of time, if you speak, I'm in the month of February. If a customer is present in the January, that's a past customer to me in the month of February. So that's what I'm trying to do it here. Okay, for that particular row, whatever that row is there, uh, I need to that the below dates. I mean, like February 2nd and February 1st and January 31st. All those dates I need to fetch it up. So with the for that I already used this variable, right? Current date, right? What is that current date? So this current date, right? If you understand this, so this is what we have done. So what this current date is doing, it is fetching up the dates, minimum date. Okay, with respect to what we haven't mentioned now. So I have with
I
respect
still
to
have a
what?
question.
Hello.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Here you mentioned month and month number. Like both are same, no?
Yeah, both are same only. We can remove one of the thing also. Just like to give, see, just to explain like month and month number, or I mean like you are speaking at a month level only, right? Month number is also it's an attribute only. If you are going to include year, then that's an year level context. So we are going to, okay. That's I mean like just to give the example, we can define n number of columns, but that columns generally speak of the context. Here month and month number are at same level, so I have used it. Got it me right?
Okay, okay.
We can remove that also, not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just as an example. So what we are doing, we are fetching up all the customer. Calculate table is something like writing up your own SQL query. So calculate table will always will be written on a another already existing table. The table can be custom table or a physical table. So in our case, we are using custom table. What is this custom table again? I'm fetching up the values of the customers. Okay, customers. Okay, once we define the calculate table, I mean, if you take up the notepad, so this calculate table, what it this actually does is, so basically this expects a table, first table or custom table as a first argument, right? So what I have done, this custom table is something like I have used a function. Okay, the custom table, like it can be a single column, can also be a table, like I have mentioned, right? If you go and take these values as a separate table and keep it would act as actually acts as a table. In the past class, I have explained this. So this is a table. So okay, now it is like filter one, filter two. What is the condition you are trying to do? That actually is the filter one and filter two, right? Now, so this filter one, this is actually our syntax. So in the filter one, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to fetch out combination of records. Okay, okay. Fetch out all the records from the sale table, which is month and month number and year. So as soon as you bought this select records for this particular customer, okay, for this we are actually speaking for this customer. So now we are all the customers and the months and year are all already bought till this level. Now you are specifying where the date should be lesser than the existing date. Existing date meaning like that existing, what existing? It's at a row level. Now I'm speaking at month level. Because how am I doing that at month level? Because that level I have mentioned it over here. Month and month number I have specified it, right?
Yeah.
So that with respect to that date, I'm actually speaking of setting up the context here. So now, as soon as you see, this is what something like. So basically, so what this does is in plain English words. So fetch the customers. What does fetch the customers is actually with the help of this, right? This is fetch the customers with this function. And what is the other thing we are doing? Fetch the set the granularity, right? Set the granularity. What is the granularity? Now I'm speaking at month level, right? Month is my granular. Set the granularity month. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm setting up the granularity here, right? So this is the granularity, month and month number and year. This is what I'm doing. Next, set the filter. So this is my filter actually. Did you get the clarity now?
Yeah.
So now I will ask you a question. This past customers, is it a value or is it a table?
It's a value.
Not really, because this calculate table will always give you a tabular result only.
Okay.
And this values is always is also a tabular result only. So values is also a table. So if you could see here, this calculate table expects a table or a custom table. So in the place of custom table, I simply wrote this values function, right? So this is a table to me. This is a table to me. So basically I fetched out all the customers in one table, right? And another past customers in another table. So basically, I'm creating the tables on the fly from the existing table. Did you get it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, similarly, again I do the Alt Enter. Okay. I'll also do this new customers. Okay. Now new customers I'll do it. So I'll just simply keep the logic of the new customers. So basically, I have the current customers and I have the past customers. So if I give you the two sets of data, set A and set B, if I deduct the set B from set A, that would be my new customers. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So I simply have a function called accept. It's like a minus query in SQL. So I'll simply write accept. So accept what we wanted to do. So accept current customers, comma past customers. So current customers is what? Everybody. So it's giving the total list, right? From the total
Mm.
list, if I deduct the past customers, what that would give? That would give new customers only, right?
Yeah.
Because like now, if you see here, this is the what we call current customers. Now, if you again see here, this current customers, the past customers is at monthly level. So now, if you could ask me, so Pradeep, is this context set for this thing? So let's come back to that question. Now, after you defined your thing, right? You need this function should, whenever you use the variables, right? You should always have. So this again, like this is a table or a value, new customers
The table.
table, right? So whatever the records that are present in this table, that record count is my new customers count. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So I'll simply write as you mentioned in the count rows, right? I simply go and count rows and new customers. This is my new customers. Something somewhere missing. Okay. So new customers is already done. Now, if you look at closely, I am setting up what we call. I am setting up past customers context as per the month and month number. Right? Agree?
Hmm. Yeah.
Am I setting up the context for this current customers?
No.
No, right? So that's what actually happens whenever you're using the variables, right? So it's one of the variable is set as a thing, and another is not actually set. And after you do that definition, right? Now you are whatever we are trying to do this. I'm trying to use it um, in this table. So as soon as I enter, right? So if you could see here, in the January month, total number of customers would be new customers, right? 66. And in February, meaning the total number of customers 82. I mean, like as on this date and the variable, right? What I mean, I'm going to advance little advanced here. If you could see here, this current customers is picking up the context of the table here. The context here it would be my month here, my month here. So now you can also ask me, Pradeep, then what is the reason like you have set the context for the past customers, but you have not set the context for the current customers? What would be your answer?
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's what the context really matters, right? See, now this context for time being, just imagine that as a cursor. So now my cursor is at January. Okay. When I'm speaking of the total count with respect to this, that's my current context. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So, do you need to define current context for the current cursor, current place? No, right?
Oh, okay. No. Yeah.
So, for the past customers, now you are in the February. Now, February is your current. For the past is what is the past for the February? January. So,
Yeah.
meaning your cursor should actually go back the above row and fetch up the values and then put it in a variable. That is the reason we have written this context setting is done for the past customers, but not for the current customers. Do you get it now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is really a cool thing, and this context, right, actually holds. I mean, the theory of this context, right, same for the SAP Business Object, same for the Tableau, same for Power BI, and any other reporting tool. Even you do your custom calculations or cron jobs in Python, the context definitions remains the same. Because like if you go to an interview. What they will ask you with this terminology, right? Current context or the previous context or my quarter context. So, how do you switch between the month to quarter and quarter to month? That's kind of questions they'll ask, right? So the terminology is same across all the tools. Only the way of implementation differs from one tool to another tool. So now we have gotten up our new customers. So now what I wanted to do is now you got this new customers count also. Now you also wanted to understand how much for this total sale value is this much, total customers is this much, and total customers is this much, right? Now you also wanted to understand the sales contributed by the new customers in that particular month, because like out of this in the February, right, new customers are 71. So the 71 how much is the total sales? 5718. And this 5718, how many is contributed by 82 persons and how many are contributed? I mean, obviously, 82 customers contributed 5718. How many 71 customers contributed how much of the sales? Is your next question. You get it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the same thing, I simply copy paste. I mean, I'll just simply already wrote this formula. This is one and the same. Just for making you on the fly, I simply rewritten the code here. So I'll just simply go for then I'll use this variable for the customer sales. Okay, new customer sales. I'll just simply remove this new customer sales I have written. Anyways, this customer new customer again you are fetching up the current customers and you are fetching of the current date that remains same, and you are fetching of the past customers that also remains same, and you are also fetching up the new customers that also remains same. So now I wanted to just simply in the written place, right? Now instead of writing the count customers, right? I will wanted to write down the sum because like this new customers will always hold the new customer values only, right? It's a subset of my table. Do you agree?
No, I did not understand.
See, this current custom in the like in the previous example, what you have done, we have fetched up the current customers as a total count, and that total count is subjected to this month. As we go and drag and drop this variable at month level, that is a, will the context will be changed as a current context. Do you agree?
Yeah,
So the same thing, right? Current date is also something like you are fetching up the minimum sales date. Whenever you are fetching up this minimum sales date as per the month, that minimum sales in that month it would be fetching it up. Do you agree?
yeah,
Similarly for the past customers, and yes, setting up the changing the context. How are you changing the context? Simply picking up the customer values and setting up the granularity, like I have discussed, right? Three step. First, fetch up the customers and set the granularity at month level and then set the filter. So that brings your past customers. And new customers is nothing but a total number of customers minus past customers. So that's what this accept function does, right? Now this new customers is a table. That's what I'm asking. This is a table, right?
yeah,
So on this table, I wanted to write a function. Instead of writing the context rows, I'll simply write sumx. Sumx is a iterative function for each and every record in the new customers table. So what is my table here? It expects a table. New customers. New customers is the table for me, right?
yeah,
Comma calculate. I'm just doing a calculate, right? Calculate. Going to use the calculate. I'm going to uh, written a value for it. So I'm going to write a calculate. What is the expression for me? Sum of sales. So for each and every record in that particular derived table, custom table, the new customers, right, whatever that is there, that I'm fetching it up, right? So this is what new customer sales. So except this last line, all this table remains the one and the same. So basically, today I'm trying to tell you setting up the new derived tables and changing the context of the tables. Once you found two tables, right? Table 1 minus table 2, and then on the I mean last simply write union query. You simply write, right? Query 1 minus query 2. Similarly, query 1 minus query 2 is like minus of the two queries, right? So
yeah,
that's what it actually returns. You understand, right?
yeah, yeah,
So the sumx is an iterative function. Iterative function expects a new table. So this new table is my new customers, and this new table, what I'm trying to do, I'm doing the calculate sum of this sales table. So if you could ask me, Pradeep, this is a new table, right? Why are you again referring to the sales table? Anyways, this new table is referring to the sales table itself, right? So we are referring here. So this is my new customer sales. Again, like this is simpler analysis, nothing much complex here. Just as I'm it all depends on like how you break down the formula. So if you could see, these are the new customer sales. So are you clear with this sales formula derivation?
yeah, yeah.
So my next question is like, uh, how many are the customers that are repeated? For example, the customer from January can repeat in February, and February and also can repeat in the March, right? So repeat customers I wanted to find out. How do we find out the repeat customers? So I'll give you a hint. You have the total number of customers, you have the new customers on each and every month. So can you derive based upon these two columns to find out the new customers, I mean repeat
Minus.
customers?
Yeah, if we'll do minus, then it will.
Yeah, count of customers minus new customers would be your repeated customer.
Yeah.
So meaning like this 82 minus 71 gives my new repeated customer, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do. So I'll simply write up an another measure. So I'll just simply write its name as repeat customer. So now it's count of. So I already have count of customers already defined as new measure, right? So I'm using that kind of measure directly. Count of customers minus I can new customers also I have as a new underscore customers, right? New underscore customers is my measure. So this would be my repeat customers. Nothing. So I'll simply bring that repeat customers here. So this is my repeated customers. Again, like now you got a new customers and new customer sales, and now you got the repeat customers, and now you wanted to fetch out the repeat customer sales contribution. Okay, that you wanted to do, right? So so now with the same logic, how do you find the repeat customer sales logic? So total sales minus
Means my.
minus new
Mm.
customer sales would be your repeat customer sales, right? So simply again write your measure like this. So it would be like sum of repeat customer sale. So I'll simply write as like what is this total sales, right? So sales we do not have it as complete direct measure, right? So I'll simply write so sum of sales. Again, I'm not referring to any context here. So because like it's a total sales with respect to that month. So there is no need of going back and forth for the context. So that is the reason I am writing say total sales as a direct sum instead of sum x. So do you get it? Why I have written sum instead of sum x? No need of
Yes.
changing. Yeah. So now new customers, right? Now this is this gives me minus new customer sales is already written. So new customer sales is already written here. So this is the new customers, repeat customer sales. So this is the repeat customer sales. So but like now you wanted to understand. Now this is something like for obviously for the month one there will not be any repeated customer. For month two onwards it will be repeat, right? So it is something like which customer is repeating which month, we are not so sure. It is simply giving you the count of repeated customers only. Whether that repeated customer is from the previous month or not, we do not know. See, from the January and February, you can understand this is 706 customers are repeated in this. But from the March and other this data, would you be able to derive what is the total number of customers? I mean, how many from the, for example, like this total customers, right? And the 82, right? I mean, let us say in the March. In this March, how many are the on this 75? How many are the customers from this 82 are being in this place 75 count? So that is not being answered in this. It's simply giving the total number of repeated customers only. It is not respect speaking with respect to this thing. So that's what I wanted to write in another formula. Again, I need to switch back the set up the context, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to set up the context again because like I'm again going for each and every row. I wanted to go back to the previous row. So that is the reason I'm writing the repeat customers from prior month. So from immediate month, how many are people that's what I wanted to do. So I'll simply keep alt enter. I'll keep, I'll expand this. So I'll simply keep where right up. I'll begin up the variable